Welcome back, welcome back. Today we're gonna touch a very touchy subject, so I don't want anybody to get offended. I don't want the people we're talking about to be offended. This is to actually help you guys because, I don't really understand why you make your choices, but then again I do because the world is backwards and they tell us things and they lie to us, and then we think the wrong thing. So, without any further ado, I'm sure you can tell by the title what this is about. Let's jump into this, GMB style.
Interview I did with a male to female, back to male detransitioner named Shapeshifter. It's going to air in full the day after this video goes live on my podcast channel, The Blair White Project, link in description. And I have a disclaimer. Some people may be confused why I refer to Shapeshifter as he or him despite his presentation, which is still feminine. But that's because the entire point of this story is to show that males who simply are feminine are being told that they must undergo sexual reassignment surgery. Shape is learning to live with the surgeries and permanent damage done to his body.
Oh, so men can actually be feminine and we all don't have to be super hardcore fucking chiseled rock, He-Man, Conan the Barbarian. Is it actually natural for a man to not be like that and just be, more soft, intelligent? Like the non-rough things. It's kind of like how we have scientists and artists and da-da-da. What do you think those men are? You think they're super masculine men? No. Was Prince a super masculine man? Did he get bitches? Yes. Yes, he did.
And all the health complications, so I encourage kindness and empathy in the comment section. Enjoy, and remember that the full hour-plus interview will be on my podcast channel and streaming platforms the day after this is posted. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So, part of your kind of transition horror story here is that you have a neovagina that isn't working properly, you have osteoporosis
And scoliosis.
Damn.
So,
Yeah.
can you talk about that?
I mean, it's transphobic to say, but after I've been through the system, I 100% feel like I was part of some cruel medical and social experiment. Except for nobody checked on me, and if I offed myself, I would not even be included in any statistics. I'm sure that.
Now, see, most people just make fun of these people or don't understand them. I can't say I truly understand them because, I don't want to do that to myself. And, like the Bible and stuff, my father said he made you perfect and stuff. But I also understand this is like the bad Satan spirit's ultimate prize. What better way? Because, like they do everything opposite of the Lord. So what better way to make the Lord hate your guts by you telling the Lord, I don't care that you made me a boy or a girl, I think better. We can do it, so I'm gonna do it. The people down here told me there's only men and women, and weak-willed men, you're a sissy. You're a pussy boy. You're a little girl. And then now we live in a world where they're like, all right, well, everybody treats me like a little girl. I get beat up. I did. None of the girls want to talk to me because I'm feminine. They think I'm gay, but I'm around them because I'm trying to get with them. Duh. And thus, these people get locked in their minds in the shadows. They don't know what to do. And just like she said, there's no one there to talk to these people. A lot of these people don't have parents. If they do have parents, their parents are fucking Looney Tunes and don't even give a shit.
Would just write me off as some other issues. None of the people who gave me letters, surgeries. Moreover, I've spent thousands of dollars. I've traveled across the country, did all the consults trying to get help. So every time I went to consults, I entered my history, my information. None of those people are studying like detransitioners. So when trans community says regret rate is 1% and complication rate is 1%, that's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
And you guys need to hear this. What they don't really tell you is that the body treats you as a wound.
It tries to close up.
Yes, constantly trying to close up. In my case, yeah, it started shutting down right away pretty much. So I got a revision. Like a few months later, I was back on operating table and I got blamed at the time that like you didn't dilate enough, even though I was religiously dilating and I couldn't understand. It's just patient blame pretty much.
Wow.
Now that I talk to other people, it's the same happened to them, that's what they don't tell you,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's like,
That's
so
crazy.
they kept on blaming me for not dilating enough, and so they did the surgery, which they just opened me back up, and they're like, you have 8 inches, congrats, and I was like excited. So I drove back to Massachusetts, and by the time I got home, pretty much, I already lost 1 inch, I couldn't dilate back up, I was like,
Oh my gosh.
okay, I'm gonna save the 7 inches, that's plenty, It was like putting stents in me, driving a car with a dildo inside of me, and with tight panties, I couldn't even pee. And then my back started hurting.
Oh my
like 2000
God. Yo, I swear to God, yo. I knew this was gonna be a funny fucking subject. And this is what you do? I'm sorry to laugh. That's not funny. I don't mean to laugh at you, but you know what I mean? That's not fair. Like, honestly, like, you're paying for a surgery. It's the same thing I say about owning a house or a car. You don't even fucking own your transformation. You gotta keep going back and paying for it. So you don't really own it. You're renting your look. This is fucked up.
20, I thought it was a mattress issue. I was like, oh my god, my back hurts so much. If I sit up, then I went to chiropractor, and he was like, you have scoliosis. And again, like,
Wow.
my paperwork is female, so, and again, I'm like, don't want to tell like random people that don't need to know that I'm trans. It's like,
I don't think my father wants plastic to, like, be shoved up in an area that's, I don't think that's he designed it for that. So yeah, I understand that you're trying to make your hole bigger, so whatever. But like, look things up. Like, actually look it up. Like, look things up. Like, what happens if I put plastic in my body and leave it there for too long? I wonder what would happen. Like, you're an adult. This is why they do this, because they're like, if you don't know, that's not our problem. You signed the paper. It's over for you already.
and he was like, I guess if I told him earlier, he would have put 2 and 2 together that maybe it was hormone related. But then I did some more research, and I ended up going for that finally bone scan in 2021 maybe. I realized I had like osteoporosis in my spine. It's pretty bad, but honestly, my story is not as bad because there's other detrans males. I don't know, will I have time, but like they have it worse as people who have no sensation in their like groin. It's
I
like,
saw a viral post from another detransitioner who
That's what I
said
saw.
that
Yeah.
you could literally stab
Yeah,
his
that's
genitals
true.
with a knife and there is no sensation.
Yeah, Richie.
And that is so, like, I don't think people understand, like, for years as a trans person, I've been asked, like, my reasons for not wanting the surgery, etc. And people are like, well, yeah, maybe you won't be able to orgasm anymore. In their mind, their head goes to, like, will you be able to still come afterwards? The reality is, for some people, and you're saying for yourself, you can't even have sex. You have had a sex change, and now you cannot have sex.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine that. I just spent all this money. I just put all these hormones and all this stuff in my body. I lobbied and got all my fellow friends together and said, we're real women and we can get married and we can da-da-da-da. You reached the mountaintop. And then my father said, all right, if you do it, now I'm going to make you not be able to feel sex anymore. Is that worth it? Is it worth it? Do you trust them more than my father? Like, the host, she's a transgender. And she said, I'm not letting these people touch me. Because, she got that Batman thought process of, I'm going to let other people do it first and see what happens. And then, I'll choose my results off what I'm going to do off their results. And,
It was not a fair trade at all. So, and
Yeah.
plus they didn't tell me there was a study done in Sweden where it showed that suicide probability went up. You can bleep out that word. Sorry, I said it. But like, Yeah, like I wish somebody told me, like one of the therapists, like you can do this, but you will more likely to off yourself after this, according to certain studies.
Wow.
Why is it all hidden online and nobody talks about it? Why do people have to look for it themselves?
Oh, so you really, really are responsible to look shit up, and when it comes to this stuff, they don't really have it out there. So you're gonna have to do extensive looking. You're gonna actually have to like look. Like go to the community of them or something and talk to people. You're one of them, so instead of just high fiving each other and you know the bullshit of life. Oh, they pick on us. High five, guys, girls. We're the new this and that. Fuck all of that. Y'all need to be worrying about this shit. You see, GMB speaks for everyone, because everyone's getting shit on, and this is why they don't like me. Because I'm not here to make friends with anybody. I'm here to make everyone see. Listen, you don't have to like me. You don't have to like my people. But we're the ones that see the most because, we already got shit on the most, and when you fuck around, you find out. And if you never fuck around, well, you never find out.
So this is like really intense for me to hear all this, obviously. It's so interesting because obviously we're coming from different sides of the coin to where
Right.
like transition was a correct decision for me, and trying to place myself in the shoes of someone who it's not is very emotional. Like, I'm so sorry this has happened to you. I don't know what else to say. I
Yeah.
mean, you've had the surgery. What does it feel like to miss your penis?
Honestly, like I didn't miss it up until I started like
Oh my
I mean I
God.
missed it but I couldn't admit it to myself. It was like a sunk cost fallacy. And then I started having phantom limb thing happening. I would wake up in the morning
Oh
and
my
have
God.
dreams about having a penis. And then I would wake
my
up and not have it.
Oh my God. I never thought about that. Have you ever heard of phantom limb syndrome? Doctors found out a long time ago because, like wars and people, missing their limbs of accidents. Like, people report a lot that, like, a man will miss his arm. They'll go through the surgery, and then, like, weeks later, months later sometimes, the person will still feel like their arm is all there. And they'll be like, wake up, or they'll be sitting there chilling, and they're like, I can feel my hand, but they ain't nothing there. See, that proved to me about the mental power each one of us have, and how we scientists in religion or whatever great thinkers try to figure out what came first, matter or thought. And I believe thought is first. Thought makes matter. I don't believe matter was here and then we mutated into things. And no, we're spiritual. We're energy beings. What the fuck do you do when you think? When you think, electricity goes around in your brain and in your body. When you move, electricity goes around. You can't move without power. So what is really moving this body? You are the real you.
And it was just such a mirror situation because when I was convinced I was a woman, I was like remembering how I was a kid waking up dreaming I had a vagina. And now I'm like, I wish I could go back. I made a huge mistake.
Damn.
But I realized I will never be able to get back my penis, and it's very traumatic realization, and it's super sad. I mean, I don't want to like a pity party, but it is sad. Like, I mean, I've my life kind of. I could have been so much more vibrant person and could have accomplished so much more. And I do miss my full sex drive, and I honestly can't even take too much testosterone because it will give me more sexual desires, and I can't really experience all that because it's traumatic. And honestly, moving forward, I don't even know like what hormones I'm gonna be on. And I told told them that I was not happy with my transition. I was trying to get in touch with one of the therapists who gave me letters, and nobody even gave me his email. So yeah, it's like they really don't care. It's like they don't want to even know. Because why? It's a big industry. All the surgeons.
And it only is a bad look for them to have a patient say, I regret this.
Right, because it doesn't align with the general narrative. Because it will make a lot of people reconsider if that's the right step for them. I wish somebody.
That's because, we're in the age of new things. And when things are new, they gotta be tested. And before they're perfected, the people before are their testers. Yous are the guinea pigs. Just like anybody else for any other product, any other lifestyle, any other new thing. Until man perfects it, because we're not the one, we're not him. When we try to recreate what he already created, well, we got to go through trial and error, And then when we perfect it, my father comes down and says, didn't I fucking tell you not to do that? Didn't I tell you not to do that? That's what Babylon, the tower thing, you do realize this is what he's talking about, right? The more you defy him and realize that we can do anything, even though we're men, the Bible says, wow, the Lord looked down and said, these little niggas is capable of anything. I gotta throw a monkey wrench in their plans.
Hugged me a few years back and be like, you know what, you can present feminine, you can wear heels, hair, whatever you want, but the sad reality, we don't have technology to make you an actual woman.
So you wish someone would have stopped you from transitioning?
I wish, and my parents tried to, but they were not in America, and they just told me like, I was more of a religious spin, but at the time I was not willing to listen to them. They just said, in a Muslim religion it's haram. They said it's like you're going against God. But if one of medical professionals said, I just feel so angry. I feel like these people didn't.
I swear. Shout out Myron. Even though I don't like your ass. When I used to watch these guys back in the day, Myron used to always have the weirdest girls on the show. And when a fellow Muslim woman or whatever would come on, when she would be like an American girl, he'd always scream this word, haram, haram. And I used to be, what the fuck does that mean? Because, I like learning new words in different languages. And he explained it one day that it's a religious term for, blasphemy. It's, equivalent to what, we say is blasphemy. Like, you're disrespecting the Lord to the highest extent. And, that shit is just... My bad, I don't mean to make jokes out of things, but to me, it's a funny word, haram. That shit sounds like, I don't know. Sounds like power.
Have my best interests. They never tackled my childhood traumas. They never dove deeper. They just assumed that was they affirmed me, into this oblivion, into self-harm.
That's what's so...
Oh, so, if we even have parents and they don't understand us, you're going to have a broken childhood. And if you don't go in the shadows and you don't go to therapy in your own mind and talk to your motherfucking self and you don't work out your problems, you can end up a complete other whole thing and then wake up then and be like, oh, I did this because I had past trauma. I wanted to... Oh, shit. Yes, my brothers and sisters. See, some people, it doesn't matter about having parents and money and they always say it's broken people with no parents that are doing things and druggies and end up in gangs and right? Well, from my travels and actually being out here, it's you normies that are, it's yous. It's yous. Because you have freedom. Yous are not aware of the shadows and how real it is out here because you have parents and people to protect you. So yous are kept in a fucking bubble your whole life and you never see real life. Your parents didn't even understand they were abusing you in certain ways. So you have the equivalent abusive mentality as a project kid, like me. Except it happened to me so early that I went into the shadows early and said, fuck the world, don't ask me for shit. Everything you gotta get, you gotta work hard for it.
That's what's so dangerous, right? Is that we have these affirming therapists and doctors now who have every incentive in the world to say, yes, you are trans, this is the issue you're struggling with, rather than try to see if there's another cause. And a lot of times there is another cause. In your case, there were more causes that weren't looked at.
But I think people need to go back to a science lab and figure out and have better stricter definition of what true trans is. And this is not gatekeeping. We're in trouble. Like there's already so many kids that regret it, you know.
She said kids, not adults. Now, I've thought of that for a long time because of the Bible, and it has the rules of, like, don't, like, mutilate yourself, and don't switch sex because he made you what he wanted you to make you. And as I got older, I learned of a thing called hermaphrodites, beings that are born with a vagina and a penis. And I said, wait up, what the fuck is that? That's real? That can't be real. If that's real, then that's like a third person. Get it? That's a third being, and they have they're trans. They didn't have a surgery though. They were born that way. There is no nothing. Get it? And I could be wrong. Like, I'm just a guy thinking. To me, wouldn't that be the true transgender? Because they're both. And like men, science, and the Lord say, whatever you start out as, that's exactly what you are. You could put a fucking makeup on a pig, it's still a pig. You get it? That's where that saying comes from. It refers to things like that. You are what you are no matter how you dress yourself up. No matter what you change, you can snip, tuck, whatever. You still are what you are. And your brain can't change. The natural thoughts and certain things will be there. So what I mean is, feminine men and masculine women that transition, are you really transitioning because your ego is high and the world says no and certain things say no, so you say, fuck you, I'll do whatever I want because, the free will thing? You know that's how Satan works, right?
And what's so wrong with gatekeeping?
Yes, it's
Like,
this is the only medical situation where you get to choose your own treatment plan. Like, what the hell? You get to choose, like, do you just want to be on
that's
hormones?
such a great point.
Or do you want to take it further with bottom surgery? It's like,
That's
they should
such a
be,
great
maybe they
point.
should study and be like, okay, in these people, bottom surgery didn't work, or maybe
Right.
bottom surgery doesn't work. Maybe socially presenting helps a lot of people. Honestly, I enjoy presenting feminine. Like, it doesn't bother me.
If most people's bodies have like different levels of hormones and different you think different and all, right? So then there has to be a certain level of people, groups that think the same and are right. So that would mean that they have to do research, and then they can't give everyone the same type of thing, right? Because there's levels to this shit. Like a short guy and a big guy can't have the same amount. You get it? What I mean? Like, I'm not here to whatever. This same problem, this same type of thing, is what I see in everything. There's nothing new. It's the same problem. People want to make money. Other people are grown-ups and are supposed to watch their children and make them aware into adults. All these things that I talk about can go into any subject in the world and actually help people, and like, it ain't gonna change things. No, the people that already got shit on, now they might not off themselves, because when we make tragic mistakes like this and we can't go back, and you change your life to where you can't live the way my father made you, well, that's when everybody wants to hit the dusty trail. But, my father said you can't do that because then you're really shitting in his face and saying, not only did I take your precious gift and being perfect the way you made me, I said, fuck that. And now I'm going to take the life force that you gave me and I'm going to end it on the day I want it to end. Fuck your rules. You're not going to take me out. I'm going to rob you of your glory. You get it? You're robbing the Lord of his job. And you're also saying, you won't help me. You won't figure out a way to make my life better. And I got to be miserable because my penis or vagina is the only thing that matters in this world. Having sex is the only thing that matters. No, I said it a long time ago. Some of us got to go through the pain of this world, and then we can, live and warn other people and tell them, like, look at my life. Look, think before you leap.
Enjoy it. Like,
So someone should have explained to you that
Yes.
it's okay for you
It
to do that
sucks
without
being
getting
that-
anything
that-
irreversible done to
right,
you.
or even changing my
Like, trust me, I get it. I don't like to be that. Like, that's what I think the Lord made me. I speak of all these things that I can't even fucking have. A wife, a good job, friends and family and shit. These are things I don't have and can't have. Yet I teach other people how to actually look around and get it. Why? Because I read in the Bible, there was a couple of men in the Bible that he chose them. You're not going to have a wife. I know you want a wife. I know you want kids. I know you want it. You're going to fucking preach. These people betrayed you. So now you know what a real friend is. You know what a real man is. You know what a real woman is. So you can speak for all sides. And you can let people know how fucking much of a gift it is to have the ones that are with you. And stop playing a fucking around.
paperwork. I feel like a lot of it was escaping male violence because I was always
Someone's got to do
in
the
an
job.
effed up way. I felt like I had the surgery. Psychologically, I knew I was never going to be accepted by other men as a man. And maybe it was my way to gain acceptance looking like a woman, And it's like, it's almost like I had the surgery to cater towards patriarchy, but they also like didn't even give me good results, so I can't cater towards them. Like,
Right.
It's like, really, people?
So once again, my theory is right. Majority of us make decisions because we want to be accepted. We want to fit in. And this is why I said, fuck them. Fuck the whole world. There's enough of us that want to be accepted where we don't have to be accepted. We can accept each other. And there's more of us than there's them. Get it? We know what we've been through. There's a bunch of transgenders, there's a bunch of black guys, there's a bunch of white guys. In every fucking area, every problem, there's a bunch of fat guys, there's a bunch of niggas that ain't never gonna have a wife, there's a bunch of niggas that get cheated on. There's all these broken, right? And we're over here fucking crying and worrying about, who are we trying to be accepted by? The other groups in the world, the other people in the world, what the fuck do they matter? They're the reason you're in your predicament now. So how about you accept yourself? Or, go for the acceptance that actually matters. My father kind of said he accepts everyone back. No matter what you did. You just got to stop doing certain things. Don't you want to be a part of something? Don't you want to be accepted?